I'm not the asshole for getting my daughter her own room. I, 38 male, married my wife, Eliza, 36 female, 2 years ago. I have one daughter from a previous relationship, Tasha, 16 female, and Eliza has 2 daughters, Kylie, 16 female, and Kinsey, 17 female. Me and my wife have had full custody of the kids since their other parents aren't in the picture. From the start, I noticed Kylie and Kinsey did not like Tasha, but I assumed it was because the situation was new. It's important to mention that my daughter is half black and could pass for full black. I'm fully white, and so is my current wife and her children.
So let me get this straight. You got a black woman in a house with 4 white people.
Here we go. So my daughter needs specific and expensive hair products that range from $20 to $30.
Makes sense.
My wife complained that I was spending too much, and her daughters believed it was unfair that I paid so much for her hair. I shut it down immediately and explained that her hair products are a necessity. That night, the girls made a comment about Tasha having horsehair weave and that white girls didn't need that.
Oh, they gone now. After that, they out there. They out of here. Stack it up, pack it up, bag it up. They gone.
Oh, wow. I never heard Tasha get so upset, and by the time me and my wife made it to the girls' room, Kinsey was laid on the floor with a broken nose while Tasha had Kylie by her hair, punching her repeatedly.
For the ancestors, baby.
Wow. Old girl can fight. My wife was able to pull Kylie away and was visibly upset with Tasha and yelled. I told her not to yell at my child and explained that if anything like this ever happened again, her daughters will be sent to live with their dad. The house was mine before they moved in, and the girls didn't like living with their dad because he was an alcoholic. So ever since that day, I haven't seen a thing happen. That was 2 years ago.
So let me get this straight. He married a woman with 2 children. He had a child of his own, so they're in a mixed family. So him and his wife have no children together. Conflict of interest.
The girls did really well in school this year, and we decided that a vacation was well deserved for each. So everyone put the name of the place they wanted to go to. In Japan, Tasha's choice was pulled. The other girls complained because they wanted to go to Greece, but their mother told them to shut it. I think they harbored some resentment to Tasha because of the location trip. I got 2 bedrooms, one with a queen-size bed and one with 2 beds and a couch for the girls. We ended up getting in late, so instead of doing any sightseeing, we just walked the streets of Tokyo. Tokyo off the chain for anybody that ain't been. Kylie and Kinsey were talking about a cute guy, and he walked over, so they assumed he wanted to talk to them. But instead, he wanted to talk to Tasha. He complimented her on her huge bouncy afro and her style. It's Y2K style. And asked for a picture. That's how it was for the rest of the night.
I don't know if y'all know this, not to stop him, but when you go to places like China and Japan, when you go to Asian countries, they don't necessarily see that many dark-skinned black people, nor do they see a lot of black hair. So when they get around it, it's not necessarily racism. They're very, very curious about black people's features because a lot of times they go their whole life without seeing black people.
It was like a celebrity. It was honestly amazing. We get to the hotel rooms, and right before I could get ready for bed, I get a call from Tasha, who was upset, saying she has nowhere to sleep. Their room is right next door, so I go over and look at the 2 girls protecting each bed. I ask what's the problem. Tasha explains that she doesn't even care about a bed, but was willing to take the couch, but the girls wouldn't move their stuff so she could sleep. They must want another ass whooping. I asked them to move their stuff, and they asked me where they're going to put it. On the damn floor. I explain we are here for a week, place them in the drawers and closets. They tell me no, so I call my wife, and she says just tell Tasha to put some covers on the floor to sleep.
Bruh. This is why you don't marry. Never mind, let me let him finish.
You got me fucked up. Oh my God. I hang up and leave and come back with the key for Tasha. They realized that I got her a room, and Kinsey was upset because she's the oldest. I told her to get over it, or to get over herself. By the time I walked Tasha to her room and got back, my wife yelled at me for playing favorites. Yo, you just told her to sleep on the floor. And so basically you telling her that your daughter's things are more important than your stepdaughter. That's wild. I said I wasn't going to have Tasha sleep on the floor. She called Tasha a brat and causing problems with the vacation and family like she always does. I asked her what was that supposed to mean. She sighed in frustration and said forget it, but sleeping on the floor wouldn't hurt nobody and Tasha needs to stop acting like a brat.
Imagine going on vacation and sleeping on the floor. You're supposed to be celebrated because of how good you did in school. You go thousands of miles away just to go to a hotel and sleep on the floor because people don't want to move their things. Imagine that.
I told her if she believes it's not a big deal, why doesn't she sleep on the floor tonight then? I laid diagonally, taking up the entire bed, and she began yelling at me that I couldn't be serious. I told her stop acting like a brat. When she realized that I wasn't moving, she left to the girls' room and slept there. I don't feel bad about getting Tasha her own room, but maybe I could have talked to my wife better. Part 2 of Am I the Asshole for Getting My Daughter Her Own Room? So we're finally back in the States, but a lot of things happened in Japan. Instead of telling my wife face to face, I texted her and told her that I canceled their flights and the room and that they had a day to figure something out. She immediately ran to my room and started banging on the door, pleading to let me talk to her. I gave in and opened the door. She jumped on me and tried to hug me, but I pushed her off. She explained how sorry she was and to give them another chance. I told her her chances had ran out and there was nothing she could say to change my mind. She then said she was pregnant and said that I can't leave her now. Oh.
She pulled the ace of spades, boy. She pulled the ace of spades.
Man, if this is true. Whew. I asked how long she knew and she said a month. I told her either she's a shitty mother for putting our unborn baby in jeopardy from all the drinking she had done, wow, or she's a liar. I guess she forgot about earlier, but just said I can't leave her and was doing anything to keep me. I told her to get out my room and she better hurry up and figure something out. I took advice to make sure they don't have access to my house if they had gotten home before me. So I called my mom and explained to her the situation. I asked can she and dad run to the store and pick up some locks to switch them out. They of course did, so now she doesn't have any access.
Oh, he's standing on business. He ain't playing.
And our bank accounts have always been separate, except for household expenses, which didn't have much to begin with, but I put that money into my personal account. I guess she used all her personal savings and some money from her mom to get home because a day later, she was texting me saying how she couldn't get into the house. I ignored her and just enjoyed the rest of the trip with Tasha. We ended our trip in Mihara, which was pretty fun. We got home around 4 a.m. I had scheduled a meeting with my lawyer the same morning to draw up some divorce papers. I knew the begging and pleading to stay wasn't over. Around noon, she came over. At first, I wanted to pretend I wasn't home, but she kept banging on my door saying she knew I was home because she'd seen me on the Ring app, so I opened the door. Her daughters were there too. I told them that I'm evicting them and legally I know I have to give them 30 days. They all pleaded how they were sorry and to give them another chance and that they'll change. I told them that my daughter can't be hated crimed in our home anymore and that me and Eliza are over. I handed her the divorce papers. A mix of emotions came over her. At first she started crying and I thought she was having a panic attack, but anger took over and she began to blame Tasha for our divorce.
She obviously didn't learn because that's why he divorced her in the first place. You're not about to be treating my child as if she a stranger in her own house. What's wrong with you?
See, you made the right decision, brother. Every slur imaginable came out of her mouth. Wow. Tasha, who recorded most of it, called the police. When they came, Tasha showed them the recording. The police told her to leave. They advised us that the video should be enough evidence to get a temporary restraining order, but we better hurry before the courthouse closed. Luckily, the order got granted, so Eliza had to leave the house. She stayed there while we were gone, but protested that she wouldn't leave her own home. I showed her the order and told her I would call the police if she didn't leave. She called her brother to get her, but told her daughters to stay because there wasn't enough room at her mom's. I texted her that she better have someone pick up Kylie and Kinsey because they are not welcomed here. She said legally it's their home, and I told her she's right, but that food and furniture in their rooms is legally mine, so if they want to starve or sleep on the floor, she better get somebody to get them.
That's extra petty. That's extra petty. Well, I'm going to be honest real quick. When you let somebody live in your house, especially when you have minors staying in your house, technically, there are some states that will not allow you to kick a minor out during the school year. So if it's during the school year, he wouldn't have any right to kick them out. Also, if they live in there the food, technically they would have rights to be able to eat the food. So if he wanted to do something like maybe just buy him and his daughter food individually, like from restaurants and stuff, you can do that. But if you got food like in a pantry, in a refrigerator, in a microwave, anything like that, technically they could eat it.
She said I wouldn't dare. That was last night. I've been patrolling the fridge this morning, and Kenzie tried to get eggs and bacon out of the fridge. I snatched them out of her hand and told her to get a job and leave, and told her not to touch my stuff. This is wild. I heard her crying to her mom on the phone and said I'm being cruel. She tried to call me after, but I just let the phone ring. Also removed the tissue and soap out of the bathroom and locked them in my room, so she also complained to her mom about that. Eliza sent her brother to pick them up, and I guess they are staying at her mom's house, which probably won't last for long because it's a 3-bedroom apartment and her brother, wife, and 2 kids already stay there. As for Tasha, I don't know what I can do to make up for these 2 years of torture, but I'll try my best to do so. Thank you for all the help. I'll keep updating if anything else happens.
Well, that being said, 2 years, I couldn't imagine what they did those 2 years that he didn't talk about, that he does not know of. This is why when you have these mixed relationships, these mixed families, you got to always make sure that you have your black child around the black side of their family as well. It teaches them about themselves as an individual. It helps them be more in touch with their roots. It helps them be more in touch with their culture. It helps them build their self-esteem, all of that. You have a black daughter in this house being attacked, being bombarded, being treated like a stranger in her own house, being called racial names, because he said that the woman called this man's daughter everything, every slur you can imagine. So of course we know she probably was dropping N-bombs. That's probably what led to the restraining order, because technically that's hate speech. But brother, you know what? The reason why this woman was so comfortable doing that, I'm gonna tell you, it's your fault. It's your fault. She got comfortable doing that because she probably felt as if she was able to walk over you. She probably felt that she was able to walk over you and that you were going to do nothing about it. And her daughters started to see that. And so her daughters started to get comfortable enough to disrespect you the same way that their mother was disrespecting you. The problem is you were okay with them disrespecting you, but you was not okay with them disrespecting your daughter. You got to understand, bro, when you got kids, y'all a package, okay? Y'all come together. So anytime you with somebody, you got to make sure people respecting your child the same way they're respecting you, and vice versa. You don't ever want to be with somebody that can pick and choose, like, okay, I'm going to treat your child good, but I'm going to treat you like crap. Or I'm going to treat you good and I'm going to treat your child like crap, because that draws a wedge between you and your children. See what I'm saying? Because your interaction with this person is going to be different than your child, and that's either going to put you and your partner further apart or you and your child further apart. It took you way too long to step in and defend your daughter's honor, step in and defend your daughter. And what I'm trying to figure out is, where's her mother at? Where is your daughter's mother at? That's what I'm trying to figure out. And if I was you, I would try to get in touch with your daughter's black side of her family and try to have her spend some time with that part of her family as well. That way you don't have to feel like being an outsider. She don't have to deal with feeling as if she's somewhere that she's not wanted. Those females was hella disrespectful, bro, but you did the right thing at the end of the day. Always stand on business. And this is a risk that a lot of men take when they marry women with children, especially when their children are older, like them teenage years, because technically you have no authority of those kids, but you expected to take care of those children like they're yours, and they feel like they could be disrespectful to you. Next time, bro, you deal with a woman that got children, leave it to one, because you got one child. Nothing's wrong with mixed families, but make sure you keep it reasonable, okay? You're not out here to take care of 3 women from another man and a wife that don't respect you, man. Okay? But anyways, you did the right thing at the end of the day. Much respect. What do y'all think of this video? This is just my reaction. Y'all like, comment, share, subscribe, and we out of here.